Hey, this is Sasha. Thanks for joining me in today's video. And what I want to share with you in this episode is why I've been switching a lot of my domain names from GoDaddy to Porkbun. Stay tuned. All right, so if you don't know what a domain registrar is, it's basically a place where you register a domain name. So a domain name is something where Facebook.com, Netflix.com, YouTube.com, you type it in with a .com rather than typing in numbers like 17.24.36 and .177. So that way you can easily remember what the website is. And all a domain name does is allows it for easy to remember for people. So if you're running your awesome business, you could type in, hey, mySuperAwesomeBusiness.com, and it would access your business website. So as far as registering a domain name, over the last few years, I've been converting and moving a lot of my domain names from GoDaddy to Porkbun right here. Porkbun is another domain registrar, and they saw my video 2 years ago. I've been doing this kind of stuff. And from 2 years ago, I moved all this, been moving all of my domain names over, and they wanted to reach out to me and say, hey, could you make a video specifically about us? And I said, why not? So they went ahead and they sponsored this channel for the time being for me to go ahead and make this little review and insight video on why I've been moving all of my domain names. And what I want to share with you are a couple of key points. Is really, when push comes to shove, there's four main reasons why I did it. Number one, privacy. Number two, cost. Number three, they're not pushy and there's no membership involved. And number four, it's easy to use. So let me break down a few of these reasons for you and share with you some thoughts and insights. So I have a lot of domain names, probably about 50 at the time. I don't know, it might be 70. And I used to register some for clients and people that just didn't use the internet but ran businesses, because I used to have a web design company which we sold off on. Anyways, so when I go to porkbun.com and you go into register some of these things, what you could do is just go in and type in your domain name. But once it's registered, a lot of these things from your registration goes public. And that's where this who is results comes in. So in the past, when I've been switching this 2 years ago, GoDaddy was not the leader and they didn't have this full block privacy. So it would have like my phone number, my state, my name, my email address, and all that. And Porkbun was the leader in that from what I saw, and they had full privacy, so you couldn't access this information. Now, GoDaddy actually, I think because everybody else has been doing it, they actually also have this privacy concept, but there's still a lot of issues that I don't enjoy about the GoDaddy aspect, so I'm still continuing to move a lot of my domain names over. So my main reason initially was the privacy concept right there, and Porkbun was kind of the leader in that. So the second thing was cost. I mean, for me, the cost was not too big of a deal. But the privacy on the GoDaddy side was like $10 or $20 extra per year. But when you add that across multiple domain names, that starts to add up. But on top of that, the domain names at Porkbun are a lot cheaper. So if I look up like my blue website shark, and I look up like a .com domain name, and I do a quick little search, and you compare this pricing, you can see what happens is that it's $8.58 per year, and it renews at $8.58. So as I check this out, okay, there's the pricing. All right, good. It's right there. With GoDaddy, what happens is the pricing is not as transparent, and since they become more of a public company, when you look up the pricing and you look up at the site, okay, they try to entice you to give you a dollar a month for the domain name, which comes out to about what, $12 a year. And then on top of that, what does it renew on? So you could see all the different recommendations, but if you go to the .com, you're basically renewing at $12 a year, right? So the .coms are $12 a year. So already right there, when you look at the .com, it's far cheaper, especially if you have a lot of domain names, it starts to add up. The other big thing that really got me was the pushiness of GoDaddy. And I did not like that. And I get it. I'm in the corporate space myself from dealing with the stock market and looking at investments. And you look at GoDaddy, they're looking to bump up their stock price. I get it. It makes sense. But when you look at this and you start evaluating kind of the discount domain club, this is what happened. I had a bunch of domain names. So when I had a lot of domain names, they said at a certain point, it's easier to join our club, be our club for $20 a month. So if you're part of the club, you get a discount on the domain name. So if I could get a .club domain, normally it's $18 a year. But if you're part of the club and you pay $20 a month, you basically get it for $10.99. And if you compare this, and I go to, let's say, a .club at Porkbun, it's basically renews at $9.98. So it's $10, and you look at GoDaddy here, right there, it's $17, or it renews at $10.99. So even then, it's only $1, but it's way cheaper. But you got to be part of the club. You got to pay the $20, and that to me is what I hated. Otherwise, it's $18 a year. So it starts to add up. You look at this for any kind of, let's say, a .wiki. Renews at, what is that, $20.94. So that's basically, I look at it as the list price, $20.94. And if I look at a .wiki, let's see if we can find a .wiki here. Let's see, blue website let's see, wiki. Okay, .wiki. There it is, $40 for the year, or the .wiki over here is $20.94. Okay, so there it is, $20.94, and this one is $23.99 at a discount. So this one at $20.94. So to get just even close, $23.99, you have to pay the $20 a month. So that, to me, I just didn't like those sales tactics and concepts. And overall, this is where I've been putting all my domain names in here, is just because it just makes sense from a lot of these factors, from the privacy standpoint, the cost, and no push. I don't have to be part of the member. And finally, the last thing is really the easy to use. I think this comes down to just doing your domains within the panel. I'm not going to go in there because I have a lot of different domains. GoDaddy's domain manager, because I don't have a lot of domains in here. This was a lot more confusing for me as you go into all these different concepts, buy, sell. You know, there was just a lot of things that was just a nightmare to use within their menu. There's just a lot of things happening in there. This one is just a lot easier with Porkbun. You just kind of go to Porkbun, you sign in, boom. They let you know when somebody logged in, just in case. I like that. That's a nice verification thing. And then if you need to change the DNS or something like that, you could go ahead and change it. Just a lot of things are just much more worthwhile, you could say. It's kind of like your best friend's company, because they're looking out for you. If you look at, let's say, even a website builder or website hosting, it's more in the fair realm. You know, easy WordPress, $5 a month. Very simple, to the point. If you're trying to do things on the GoDaddy perspective, there's a lot of different upsells and things like that, where you're basically looking at $9.50 a month. You get a website. Otherwise here, well, you could get a one-page website for $2.50, but who's going to have a one-page website? So anyways, long story short, that's kind of why I went with them, is really these few reasons. The privacy, now GoDaddy has it as well. The cost is just makes more sense. They're not pushy. And there's no membership to get, whereas with GoDaddy, just to get decent pricing, you have to get a membership. And it's really easy to use. So anyways, check out these guys at porkbun.com. They did sponsor this video on this channel, but they're phenomenal. And that's why even 2 years ago, I made things about them from transferring my domains. It's just because they just do a fantastic job. And I really enjoy the business with them. So thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed the video, and get started on your own blog business or website today. And if you want to also grab some great freebies, check out some of the freebies I have on our website at backstageincome.com. Thanks, and I will see you next time.